Imagine this. You're walking through a store, maybe looking for something specific, maybe just passing time. You hear the hum of conversations, the distant sound of a radio, the beeping of cash registers. Nothing unusual, just another day. But then, in the corner of your eye, you see something. A tiny duckling, all alone. Now, most people would walk right by without a second thought. It's just another animal in a store, right? But for some reason, this little duckling catches your attention. Something about him seems different. He has this tiny tuft of feathers sticking out on top of his head. It almost looks like a little hat. Kinda funny, kinda cute. But what really gets you is the way he sits there, so still, so quiet, like he's just waiting. That's exactly what happened to Sarah. She wasn't planning on bringing home a duck. That wasn't the reason she was at the store. But the moment she saw him sitting there, all by himself, she knew she couldn't just leave him. She didn't know why, but she felt this pull. So she picked him up, took him home, and gave him a name, Sunny. At home, Sarah already had a group of ducklings. They were happy, playful, full of energy. But Sunny, he wasn't like them. He was smaller, he was quieter, and no matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't seem to fit in. The other ducklings didn't bully him, but they didn't exactly welcome him either. It was like he didn't exist. Have you ever felt like that? Like no matter what you do, you just don't quite belong. Sunny's struggles didn't stop there. While the other ducklings grew quickly, he stayed small, weaker. Something wasn't right. A couple of weeks passed, and Sarah started noticing something else. Sunny's little voice was raspy. His eyes were watery. He wasn't just small, he was sick. She took him to the vet, hoping for the best but fearing the worst. The diagnosis: an upper respiratory infection. The vet gave her medicine, and she followed every instruction carefully, making sure Sunny got exactly what he needed. And then, slowly but surely, he started growing. He was still the odd one out, but at least he was getting stronger. And that little tuft of feathers on his head, turned out it was a genetic mutation. It made him look even more unique. Just when it seemed like things were getting better, Sarah noticed something else. Sunny wasn't swimming like the others. He kept going in circles, bumping into things. That's when she realized Sunny was blind in one eye. Can you imagine that? Trying to navigate a world where you can only see half of it. But here's the thing about Sunny. He didn't let that stop him. He adapted. He learned to tilt his head so he could see better. He figured out how to move without crashing into everything. He wasn't like the other ducks, and maybe he never would be. But that was okay. And then there was the strangest thing of all. Unlike other ducks, Sunny didn't really care for other ducks. He wasn't interested in being part of their little group. Instead, he was drawn to something else, people. Most ducks are skittish around humans. Not Sunny. He loved being around them. He would follow Sarah around the yard, sit by her side, even cuddle up to her when he was tired. It was like he understood that she was the one who saved him, and he wanted to be close to her. Sunny might not have had a flock, but he had something even better: family. Sarah's other animals welcomed him in a way the other ducks never did. They shared their food with him, let him rest beside them, and treated him as one of their own. He didn't fit in where he was supposed to, but he found his place somewhere unexpected. And isn't that what we all want? To find a place where we truly belong? Every morning, Sarah would greet Sunny, and he would respond with excitement, running in circles, flapping his little wings, making happy noises. He trusted her completely. Whenever he bumped into her, he would just lay his head down and fall asleep right there. That's how much he felt safe with her. For the longest time, Sunny was quiet. He didn't make much noise. But one day, Sarah introduced him to something new, some little toys. And suddenly something changed. He found his voice. He quacked, chirped, made all sorts of happy sounds. It was like he had been holding it all in, and now he finally felt comfortable enough to let it out. And then something incredible happened. Sarah found another duck, one just like Sunny. Another little duck with a tuft of feathers on its head, another duck that stood out from the rest. She arranged for them to meet at a farmer's market, and in that moment, Sunny wasn't the only one anymore. It was a reminder that no matter how different we feel, we're never really alone. Sunny's story teaches us something important. Life isn't always easy. Sometimes we're the odd ones out. Sometimes we don't fit in where we think we should. Sometimes things seem unfair, whether it's an illness, a challenge, or just feeling like we don't belong. But that doesn't mean we can't find happiness. That doesn't mean we can't find people or animals who accept us just as we are. Sunny didn't let his differences hold him back. He didn't try to change to fit in. He embraced who he was, and in doing so, he found a home, not in a flock, but in a family that truly loved him. And you know what? There are so many other animals with stories just like his, like a little squirrel who was saved by a man who became its mother. If you want to hear that story, check out the video linked on the screen. And if you enjoyed this story and want to hear more like it, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Because sometimes the best stories aren't the ones we expect. They are the ones that remind us that love, kindness, and family can come in the most unexpected forms. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.